Hi, we're Gobscure, and we're at Edinburgh Printmakers, where we've been doing all kinds of fun things, serious fun, all kinds of forms of art, mainly printmaking. But the reason is this person here, Sergei Parajanov. We fell in love with him 20 years ago. How could you not fall in love with someone like this? Someone like this. Fat, mad, big kid, bisexual, dissident. This isn't the West now. This is the Soviet Union in the 1970s, one of the most brutal systems in the world. He's locked up. Surrealist artists got him freed one time, and he leapt in the street for joy. There's a photo called Flying Parajanov. He's jumping in the street, this big kid, for happiness, for joy. Everything was art to him. The Soviet Union, they locked him up. He asked questions. He asked questions of the system. His art was one way, the system was another way. They locked him up. But we butterfly here with the word f and light, flight. He soared, he flew. And I guess what this art is about is this: getting our dreams back. We've had our dreams stolen. Sergei Parajanov, this is, well, we papier-mâché pomegranate. It's a map of the world. We know it's this world because there's Antarctica, there's Greenland, and here, where the heart is, that's where Sergei's from. This is Transcaucasia, Mount Ararat, Caspian Sea, Russia, Iran. He's right there. And the fantastic thing is this is where the Indo-European languages curved, spiraled, travelled out of thousands of years ago. So this is one of the places in the world that gifted a large quantity of people our language and so our stories. And he told the most amazing stories in art. He asked questions. Colourful, fat, mad, big kid, lifelong bisexual dissident. And he inspires us still. So we've been making prints. Giant, colourful question mark. Beautiful paper, beautiful ink. And art can be beautiful and colourful and gorgeous and ask questions. And this is what we're all about, is asking questions. But the other part of it is this. Sergei Parajanov used art to ask questions and make change, say things could be different, they could be better. And this is the second print in the series. He curved. Change isn't straight, it bends, it twists, it curves. The third image of the screen prints. We need to not just think outside of boxes, but dream outside of them. We're talking about play. Let's have our play, our dreams. Let's have some fun, some serious fun, yeah? But that is what this art is about. It's about serious fun. It's about being playful. It's about dissent. It's about asking questions. It's about exploring what is the point, what is the purpose. See, a few years ago, we were in County Durham, in a wee ex-pit village, sitting there with one of our best friends and her lass, who at the time was aged about 8. Now, at school we didn't have art. We didn't have any of those colourful things, those fun things, those playful things. We didn't even have blank pieces of paper. But this child, and we're age 50, and this child aged about 8 then, the first person to actually slow down. She taught us how to draw. And this was the view from her window. We drew this for her. So children can teach us stuff. Art is there for everyone. So from Sergei Parajanov and also a child, both showing us the way to make art. Some of it is beautiful and gorgeous, but also it can be cheap and easy. A wee box that would otherwise have been thrown away. Some marker pens, because this box is for dreaming outside. This is something that you could make. Part of this art, Part of this exhibition, part of the idea is to say, whoever you are, you might be a child, you might be homeless, you might not have much resource, you might not call yourself an artist. There are all kinds of ways we can use art to ask questions, to get our dreams back, to have some serious fun. We need to play more. Here are badges. Who doesn't love a badge? Here's one for you. I'm just going to pass it over to you now. Here you go. Art, asking questions. This is for you. You've been invited to carry a demo placard or two. And these are printed here. The art on this side is by us. But one of the things we always say is, well, look on the reverse. And when we hand the placards out, at some point we're going to ask you to take your placard and maybe turn it round. You see, here is a child in the States making a placard for adults. Closer to home, this is Edinburgh. One of the people that we love and respect and admire as a friend of ours was a poet called Tom Leonard. This is one of his posters that was in restaurants in Glasgow in 1990. This is his form of protest. Piece of paper, words, beautiful, relevant to today, because, of course, Sergei Parajanov was driven mad by the system. All our mental healths are being driven over the edge. We're getting iller and iller and iller, but art is a beautiful, gorgeous, wonderful way of asking questions, of preserving our sanity, of having some serious fun. You see, there's playful art here too. Power Ranger dissidents. Like us, they're disabled, but they're still fighting back. They're still resisting. You can arrange them, you can play with them, you can explore. So it's about what is the art that you would like to make. We've also worked to make this piece of acrylic. Actually, this is a Welsh poppy, one of our favourite plants. And this Welsh poppy is carrying a placard. You have already survived. All of us, we have already survived. What placard would you like to carry? Which t-shirt slogan, which badge would you like to wear? Remember this, yeah? This art is that we have already survived. I'm going to show two final images. Alongside that, we have a couple of wee leaves. One says relief, R-E-L-E-A-F, regreening, nature. And the other is relief, the other kind, R-E-L-I-E-F. You'll end up outside at Edinburgh Printmakers with us in the wee courtyard with beautiful plants. We'll bring some ourselves. So whoever you are, wherever you are, you can ask questions, you can be creative. There are cheap and cheerful ways of doing it. Receipt books, stencils, picking up things, asking questions, making placards, wearing badges. Let's make this world a colourful, brighter, better place. Let's have some serious fun. Let's all be flowery dissidents.
Ah, that was so inspiring. The first thing that I have to say to you, Go Obscure, are you there?
We are here, yes, yes.
Wow.
We're here.
Hello.
With art behind us, fairy lights, butterflies, question marks, and anarchist.
Absolutely. I'm going
Definitely here.
to in unison with that. Firstly, thank you. That was very inspiring. And one of the things that I wanted to ask is a sort of a bit behind the scenes in the sense that obviously where we're at here in 2021, it's Edinburgh Art Festival. You are an art maker, a very special one. Does it feel weirder or harder or exciting to have to sort of deliver what you're making for the festival in a completely different way? We just watched a video of you explaining something, and I don't feel like I usually consume exhibited art in such a way.
Well, this is the stuff that makes sense. Frankly, not sure about the rest of the world, not sure about spreadsheets, telephones, things like that. But having liquid chalk markers and writing on glass and things like this. This is what makes sense. This is the only thing that makes sense to us is having, I think we're all born with a voice and I think we're mostly silenced and I don't think it works. I don't think it's helpful. I don't think it's healthy. I think it divides us all. And I think having a voice, having a say, there's no wrong way to do it. Just try something, find the thing that works for you. So this is the thing that makes sense. As I say, most of the stuff out there doesn't make much sense to us, but this is the thing that we know. And sitting around and talking with people, in person or online. There was a kid that came down, sort of Alfie, who's less than 5. He wanted to know why he couldn't just come down here anytime he liked and write up the glass and play any and every time I'm with him. So that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's invigorating. It's nice to hear somebody who is respected as what God's represents is say it's okay to rip up the rule book. A lot of us are so kind of obsessed with hearing from the news or trusted sources as to what makes sense. It's such a delight to sort of flip that on its head.
Well, I've actually brought something for everyone here. I've brought a box because we are all boxed in, aren't we? We're all sort of trapped, boxed in, labelled, and we're supposed to have these right angles. And here is a box, and it looks very classy, and it is white, and it looks very straight. And you know what? If we sort of curve it a bit and twist it a bit, and it looks more curvy now. It looks a bit more friendly, a bit more human, and actually, that's not the sort of box that we need, is it? This is the sort of box. It's transparent, and transparency in life and art, it's important. And it's not pretending to be straight, it's curvy, and it has dream on it. So this is everyone's box. Let's get rid of those ones, being boxed in, being pigeonholed, being bracketed, all those things, and let's dream more. So yes, yeah, definitely.
Do you have any advice for us who feel ignited in terms of our imagination right now to be able to take this? And I love how you're encouraging, how there's this encouragement to brighten up, to dream, to open up. But what could we practically do? Like, should I be telling my neighbor that we need to write in our windows?
Yeah, so liquid chalk markers, you put them on glass, they just clean off as window cleaners. So some of the art you saw are screen prints and things like this, but also receipt books are also printmaking. And if you come on the tour with us, you will get an actual receipt. But I sent them off to print to a conventional sort of stationers, and they got back to me and said, well, we usually print things which have VAT numbers and all this, and receive with thanks. And this one's very, very flowery. And I was like, yeah, it's meant to be flowery. So things like that, cheap and cheerful, liquid chalk markers right on glass. And if you come and be part of the Misguided Tours, so there's art throughout the building, which you've seen. And then, it's a conversation. We're just talking with folks, and we're, writing your questions, your thoughts on the glass. So, you can grab things like this, Post-it notes, stick them up, try things. And if people tell you it's wrong or it's not, whatever, they're not your allies. So find the thing that works for you. I've lots of disciplines. My hands don't work that well, but certain things do. So the music, the sound, the dance, the whatever it is that works for you, the people that give you that space, that time. Luggage tags. I've done things internationally with luggage tags. It can be easy. It can be found things. And I think it's that thing of sort of childhood. I mean, so schools have just gone back here in Scotland, and obviously name tape is very important. I've brought along my roll of name tape. It's fragile tape, but but we can turn things around. So it's about those kinds of things. So you don't need, life is expensive. Art doesn't have to be. Find things, pick things up, a pair of scissors, cut things out, collage, play. What is it that you want to say? What is it you want to try? What is it you want to explore? Just, mess around, play with it, and you'll find other people out there that are doing something similar and having similar difficulties, perhaps similar problems, but it is beautiful to take it somewhere else and do it your own way. And you can see the anarchist lips behind me. And those are hidden around the building and outside too. Some of them are at children's level, some of them the back of toilet doors. So, you know, we can play, we can subvert and not do things, if you like, straight, but curve. Let's curve, let's bend more.
Yes, I'm for
And let's
it.
listen to children. Let's listen to the
Yeah.
children. What do you want to be when you grow down, Jack? You know, what would you like to be when you grow down? I think there's a question we should be asking more.
Yeah, totally. Oh, there are so many things, and I'm doing my best to take a sort of like stance and a responsibility to grow down and wiggle around in the middle somewhere, and
Fantastic.
have a kind of very brightly colourful existence, one that I hope that we all are on. Otherwise it's boring alone.
Yes, yeah. And some of the art is also online, so you can also listen, download whatever for free. So there's loads of virtual stuff, free stuff, etc. So wherever you are in the world, help yourself and
I love that.
express yourself. Have a voice, have a say.
And I know I can feel the heart behind that as a statement that it is for everybody. And I think that we all can do that. We can all think of
Yeah.
not only like our own kind of joy, but who do we know that might not
Yeah.
usually engage in an exhibition, and you can send them
Yeah.
who can you bring down to the print works that's perhaps like slightly more marginalized in your sort of community.
Exactly that, because some of the art is on the outside of the building. You don't even have to go inside. It's there on the outside, or you know, in the yard and so on. And this is my version of Sergei Parajan. So you know, he was imprisoned. Surrealist artists actually got him freed, and he was a big kid. He jumped for joy. He literally leapt in the street. That beautiful photograph of him jumping. So yes, art is for all, and it can be outside the building. It can be hidden in places as well as on plinths or walls, but it can be behind doors and those kinds of things, or handing out demonstration placards, but with beautiful poetic demonstrations on them. And you carry them and having those conversations and trying things and grabbing this and writing on something, writing on the glass with it.
So for all those interested, make sure that you get down to the Printworks. Thank you so much, Gobscure. I'm in awe. Thank you very, very, very much for that. And
thank you. Cheers.
I'll be sharing it online afterwards. And cheers. Mwah.